Good afternoon and welcome to the Let's Talk Show live on the Chalkhill Community Radio Station. The Chalkhill Community Radio Station is all about keeping the community connected. My special guest today is a young man by the name of Andile, and he is all the way in South Africa. Andile, welcome to the Let's Talk Show live. How are you?
I'm good evening. Thank you for having me in the show. I appreciate your time. I'm doing good, thank you. And how are you doing?
You are very welcome. So is it evening where you are now?
Yes, it's in the afternoon. It's 3:15 in the evening.
So it's afternoon here, so there's not too much of a time difference. But thank you for joining me today. I've heard some really great stuff about the work that you've been doing in South Africa. But before we start, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, as mentioned, thank you once again. As mentioned, I am Andile. I'm from South Africa in a village called Coffeebay in the Eastern Cape. I am 29 years old. I did my lower grades here in Coffeebay, and I went on to further my studies in higher education and training in the Western Cape. I started at NISNA with a certificate in practical business administration. And that's when my academic journey started after grade 12. And then I went on to Free State, where I joined a military base, where we were trained by soldiers for disciplinary reasons, not to be soldiers.
Oh, wow.
And then
trained by soldiers?
Yes.
Oh.
We were given a chance to choose which career or field of study we were interested, but there were choices given to us, which I chose social auxiliary work. And I did my social auxiliary work on 2018 and 19. And then I graduated on that. And then I went on to finish off with my, to start on a degree, which is bachelor's degree in business administration in Cape Town at an institution called Tsiba Business School. And then I'm now finishing off my degree. I'm done with the degree, but still waiting to do internship, which is a prerequisite to the graduation, which I will be doing my internship next year from January to June. Thank you.
Fantastic. So, Andile, it's clear that you're well educated and you're somebody who likes to continue to progress in what you're doing and what your interests are. Tell us a little bit about the training with the soldiers. What was that like?
It was, there is a department called Rural Development and Land Reform.
Rural Development?
Rural Development and Land Reform. Where I was given an opportunity to be recruited by the department, which they gave us a 3 months period to be with the soldiers in Free State.
Did you stay with them for the 3 months?
Yes.
Wow.
We were in the military base, in a camp, soldiers camp. We were given a disciplinary training, which was very beneficial for everyone, for every candidate or for every participant that was there.
How old were you?
It was 2016, which was 4 years back, I think. And
so about 25?
Yes.
Okay.
And then from there, we were given a chance to, as I said, go further to choose which career we would like to embark the journey we would like to go through. I choose social auxiliary work because it gives me an opportunity to work with people, and which is something I like. And when I was there and when I was doing practicals on the course, I found out that there are a lot of people that needs help within their own communities, except for the Eastern Cape. And sometimes if you get to the field and get to understand people and see what is happening to people, you get the understanding of who is who and why are they doing something before you I always think people should can allowed to judge people, but then they should know that they only know what they think they know about people until they get to
So
understand.
you're interested in human behavior, why people do the things they do and why people do the things that they don't do or don't do the things that they don't do. We're going to talk a bit more about some of the work that you do with people, because I know that you've done some great work over the last 4 or 5 years, and we're going to talk about that. But let's have some conversations about your family. Tell us about your family.
I am the last born, and I have 2 older sisters, and my younger sister died in 2014.
Oh,
and
my condolences.
Yeah, thank you so much. And my older sister got married, and then they both had kids, and they left those kids at home, which they stay with me and my mom when I'm back home.
Wow.
And
how many children is there collectively?
Currently, we are 3, because my 2 sisters had 1 kid per. One had 1 kid, and then we now 3. And then given that my sister was still alive and the one did not get married and left home to her own house, and we will be 5 kids and my mom. And we are raised by a single parent who never worked, because in Coffeebay, there are limited opportunity or no opportunities. The only way she was raising us is going into houses and wash people's clothes and maybe deliver water, because in the villages, taps are far from houses. We need to fetch water from far.
So that's a lot of hard work, carrying and bringing water, if you're saying that the water supply is far from home. Where's Dad in all of this? Where's your dad? Where's your father?
Oh, my mom wasn't married to my father, so they were not living together. But then my father died before I knew him or even saw him, because he also died in 1993, which is the year I was born. I think I was 3 months born when he died. So I didn't get the chance to see him and get to know. And I don't have, I can say I don't have the father figure and the love. I didn't get the love from my father, but that was a push for me to be where I am now, because I had to be a father to my sisters.
Wow, that's awesome. That's an awesome story and a great journey, considering you're only just 29 years old. So thank you for sharing that. That kind of gives me a picture actually about why you do some of the things that you do and what we're going to talk about today. So that's really brilliant. You were saying now that you've come to the end of your degree. How did you support yourself to do your degree?
I'm studying at a private institution in South Africa. It's called TSIBA. There is a scholarship.
Okay.
And then at TSIBA you need to. But then, as much as there is full-time scholarship, you also need to pay a sample of tuition to what they pay, which is 250 minimum, depending on how much you get, on how much your parents get a year. It was counted, it was divided according to your house threshold, I think.
Yeah.
And then I had a parent that was not working, and then I was paying 250 a month to further my studies. But then what I did was doing car wash and then tour guiding people. Yes, car washing. And I had to send money home. I had to pay for my education. So I now had to sacrifice which was the best, which I think education was the best at that time, which I did car wash for. Like when I come from the campus, I would go stand and wait for whoever is going to come with their cars. And I didn't know who was going to come a day, maybe not, and maybe one a day, maybe. And then that's how I funded my education. I was paying for my own education.
So you were paying for your own education, and you were also sending money back home to your mother and supporting the households with the children as well. That's a lot of car washing. That's fantastic. But whilst studying, whilst car washing and doing all of that, in the last 5 years, you set up a foundation whilst in Coffeebay. Tell us about the foundation.
Oh, thank you so much. That is an initiative that let me say maybe Coffeebay is a place where we are as youth, we are all at risk of being alcohol abusers and drug abusers. So we because I think that's because of lack of opportunities and things to do after school, and you know, kids be like starving. Poverty is the problem. Poverty is the problem. And then people will be like doing whatever they can do just to distress. Now I decided that, okay, let me use sport to get people. I think when I started.
What did you decide to use sports, did you say?
When I talk about sport, I decided to take youth and train them on soccer, netball. I took youth of all genders and abilities, and then I trained them. I took them to sport codes, swimming, soccer, and netball. And then there, I think that I thought when I was starting the initiative that, okay, if they come from school, and they come to train, they won't have that time to go drink alcohol because they will be tired from soccer. They will be coming from school, coming to train soccer, and then it's late already. They need to go prepare for school tomorrow. So that's how I decided, let me start this initiative to avoid the kids going to
to harm.
Yes.
So basically what you're saying is that in Coffeebay, the youth are at risk of being abused or trafficked, getting into situations that they can't handle, misusing drugs, misusing alcohol. And so you decided that if you created a space for them with some sports activities, and they came to you straight after school, they would be less likely to be out on the streets because there's not much for them to do. Is that right? Is that about right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I'm going to ask you again, how did you fund that? Because you're already car washing and sending money back home to your family and substituting the fees for your university. How did you, or how do you fund the program, the foundation?
There are no really funds for the initiative. We just use what we have and just to keep the youth coming to play soccer. And we like literally there are no funds, there is no money coming in, and I'm not funding, and we use whatever we have. We maybe go to the backpackers and then ask them to support us with maybe a ball to train. Otherwise, there are no funds. As a result, some of the people that train there, they use their own clothes to practice. So it becomes more difficult for them to come back again because they still need to like use the same clothes to go to their personal places.
Oh, I see.
And then we have a number of the participants within the initiative come from like different houses, and some come to the training without food, and some come to the training with so much stress as to when they get back home, what are they gonna eat? So, I'm reaching out to people just to ask for support, and so that we can have training material. And if I must say, if we get the support, then we can have like the same a uniform, or the same, like, let me say a uniform, so that it's easy for them to come back, because some come from different like houses. Some of them change every day when they come to training, and some come with the same clothes.
So basically what you're saying is that the challenge is that with children coming from different households, some of them are coming to you, they're already hungry. Some of them are worried about when they get home what they're going to have to eat. The other challenge is that some children have clothes to change into to do the activities, and others don't have that. and that you're going to backpackers to ask them for equipment such as footballs, etc., for the training. How long have you been running this program?
Yeah, the initiative started like in, I think, let me say, it's more than 5 years, if I can say.
5 years.
More than 5 years. If to be precise, I can say maybe 2008, because I saw people at my age that didn't get the opportunity to go and further their studies.
Yeah.
So I already at risk. I already in it. I already using drugs. I already deep in alcohol. So I want to rescue those I can rescue now. So it's working sometimes due to challenges, especially when it was COVID-19. We couldn't get any support because even backpackers, there were no tourists. So even backpackers had struggles. So we couldn't get any support. And yes.
So, Andile, you've been doing this for 5 years with nothing, with limited or no funds, is what I'm hearing you saying, and a little bit of support from people that make donations. And there is no financial support. It is about asking for donations. What are some of the things that you require to continue? What would help you?
To keep the foundation going.
Yeah,
I would appreciate an assistance in football training material. Support the girls that play netball. So I would need more training material for soccer and netball. And then what I would, firstly, I need to have I would like support in getting phone, laptop, and so that I can continue with my education. Because if I continue with my education and further and find work, I'm able to be connected to people. Because now it's struggling to connect to people because I don't have a laptop, I don't have a phone.
Let's talk about what happened to your phone and laptop. Was it was it this year that something happened that was to change the way that you continue to study? Tell us about what happened.
What happened, I was about to start, or I already started with my examination, with the midterm examination. And then when I was coming from school, from writing my first paper, I got robbed. A car stopped. I am staying in Langa, which is in Cape Town, a township in Cape Town. When I came from school, I got a car stopped right next to me, and 5 guys came out of the car and they took a bag which had my laptop, and I had my phone on hand, so the phone was already taken. So they took my phone, they took my laptop, and within the space of time, in 2 days, and my bike was already stolen, which I used to attend classes.
Wow.
So I am using my bicycle to go to school, but the bicycle was stolen, which made it more difficult. But then it's township. It's almost a norm that you get robbed when you get to township. So
now basically you were robbed by 5 people that jumped out of a car. They took your bag that had your laptop. You had your phone in your hand anyway. They took that, and in a short space of time, you're saying that your bike that you used to travel to and from university was also taken. And so this means now that it's difficult for you to communicate because you don't have a phone or a laptop to really continue your studies. Is that right?
Yes.
Wow, I'm so sorry. That's really tough, because I guess you're working with almost nothing anyway, and now you really have nothing because they've taken all your things. I know that today you've borrowed somebody's laptop so that we can have this interview, but that things are very tough and very, very difficult for you. And you're still managing to reach 450 families. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
450 families.
That's correct. We have it's not the people, it's not those who participate in the initiative that are 450. We have girls, we have boys.
Yeah.
Others are in soccer, others are in netball, others are there for swimming lessons. We have some that come into the initiative for academic reasons, because we also are also included that, because the student that struggle with numbers, the student that struggle with school. So we are also decided that, okay, let me support them in where I can.
Netball, football, and academic support.
Yes.
Wow.
And
is that Monday to Friday? When do you do the activities?
When I'm in Coffeebay, I do the activities every day. Because why I say every day? Because during the week they're at school, so they come to training in the afternoon. But then I need, it's more especially in the weekends that that they are more vulnerable to the alcohol and drugs.
Because of the long day and them not being at school.
Yes. So on the weekends we have like matches from different villages. So we just play for free, and then we just say, okay, let's have a game on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So they don't have that chance of like going out there. You find some kids picking up alcohol empty bottles, just to sell back to the bottle stores to get money and buy something to eat. So I personally don't think it's a good thing for them, because as much as they pick up the bottles, sell them back to the bottle store, it's gonna give them a reason to sit in the bottle store one day and drink.
Sure.
So it's the way they make money, but not the best way they could make money, because now I need to take them away from that. I need to take
who helps you with this? Do you have people that volunteer? Because obviously you don't have any funds to pay. Do you have people that volunteer and help you to do this?
Yes, that's how it continues when I'm in Cape Town. I have few guys that are willing to help. Swimming, I have a guy in swimming, I have a guy in soccer, and I have a lady in netball. So they keep it going as much as I don't pay them, because if it's a community initiative, so they also see the need for the initiative, so they are willing to help. Sometimes they have their own things to do, and the project has to stop. So it's becoming it's becoming difficult for the initiative. So, but then I have people that are always there to assist when I'm not in the Eastern Cape.
Andile, I can't tell you how awesome your story is. I cannot even begin to think of the words to describe how awesome you are as a 29-year-old with a story that sounds like you should really be about 50. Actually, that's a long story for a short life. And you have done some very, very powerful things. And you talk of doing this through challenges, through someone who never got to meet their dad, who doesn't have a male role model, as you said, but you are an absolutely phenomenal role model for those 450 families that you meet, that you support, that you provide for every week. You're an awesome role model to your children, your nieces or nephews that you take care of. And I'm certain, as a mother myself, I'm certain that your mother is very, very proud of you. I'm really super proud of you. And today's interview has just made my day. And I'm thinking now about how we can offer you some support with things that we take for granted sometimes. I guess some households have 2 or 3 footballs. And I guess with the World Cup happening right now, it's probably more of a thing where you want to be able to play football and to provide this support and access to the young people. So we're going to leave it there for today, and I'm going to thank you for spending time with me. But before I close the interview, are there any last words? Is there a call to action? Is there something you really want people here in the UK to know about the work that you're doing, or the way in which we can support you?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. If I can say that, like I said in previously, that the things that are needed to urgently to keep the initiative going is a phone, a laptop, and and bicycle, because I use bicycle to travel, and I only want to use my phone to get connected to the people that are supporting me with the initiative. Because now the last time we got connected was like 2 weeks back or 3 weeks, because I don't have a phone, I don't have a laptop, so I need to walk to other people to get connected with the people that are helping in the initiative. And the other material that can keep the initiative going is training poles and the high training cones, and the training material. There's a number of training material, but then it doesn't matter how one wants to support the project as much, as long as a support. And it could be training material, whatever one person is willing to do and to support to keep the project going. And I would appreciate that from anyone who is willing to support the project. That's the reason I'm reaching out to people, and I need to connect to so many people, but because of the loss of the devices, I can't connect to people. So I would appreciate any kind of support from anyone who's willing and ready to support the project. Thank you so much.
Listen, I just want to thank you for all the work that you're doing. It is brilliant, it is needed, and you've shown some real tenacity, because against all odds, you have continued to not just develop yourself, but to support your family and support 450 families in South Africa, in Coffeebay. So, Andile, I'm going to be speaking to you soon. And in the meantime, take a good care of yourself and continue with the brilliant work that you're doing. I know that you're touching many lives. So this has been the Let's Talk Show Live. It's your girl Blaze, and I'm out.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate your time. It could have been doing something else with your time, but you decided to have me today. So appreciate your time. So thank you so much.
This has been the best use of my time. I can assure you, this has been the best use of my time. So it's your girl Blaze, and I'm out.